Yeah, Mr. Soham, am I audible? Yeah. Good
Yes,
morning
sir.
to all of you. We were discussing method study. So, in method study, as I have been telling, you have to develop a new method, you have to devise a new method, or you have to improve the current method, existing method. So, method study is also known as method improvement or work improvement. Method study, it has many uses, not only for the process, but it can be used even for the movement of the body, people, material movement, activities of the people, activities which can be done on the machines. So it is basically a technique to reduce the work content. As I told, the work content is nothing but you have to balance the line. Like suppose if you have assembly line which is consisting of say 40 or 50 workstation, then the work content at each and every workstation should be same. Suppose if it is 3 minutes, then every workstation should have a work content of 3 minutes approximately. Not exactly 3 minutes. If it is exactly 3 minutes, it is the ideal. But it can be say 2.5, 2.9, 3, like that it is. Like suppose if at particular workstation the work content is say 1.5 minutes, then the people's working at that particular workstation will be idle for another 1.5 minutes if your cycle time is 3 minutes. The meaning of cycle time 3 minutes is every 3 minutes your product will roll out. Your product is rolling out, means your product is out at the end of the 40th workstation. Like suppose if there are 40 workstation and there is a different work content at each and every workstation. Work content means what is being done at that particular workstation. Like suppose differential mounting. So differential mounting is one workstation where the differential is mounted. Tire mounting, that is another workstation. Your body mounting, where the body is loaded and clamped. So like that, every workstation you have to see as an industrial engineer that the work content is same and the activity time is almost balanced. And that is what is called as the line balancing. So in case suppose if at particular workstation the work content is more, that is suppose you have to give a cycle time of 3 minutes, and at a particular workstation suppose if the work content is more and if the time required is 5 minutes, then how to reduce to 3 minutes? So there what you have to do, you have to employ more people if possible. If possible, ऐसा नहीं कि suppose differential clamp करने को 2 people are enough, isn't it? So third people if you employ or fourth people if you employ, you will not have any work to do. Okay, so that time you cannot say कि मैंने 4 आदमी दिए तो काम फटाफट करना है. So 2 आदमी का काम है तो 2 आदमी ही लगेगा. But if the cycle time is more, what you can think, you can add one more, parallel activity at that workstation. You can have a parallel activity at that workstation. That is, at that session, you can have one more workstation, so that on the 5 minutes है, that will be divided into 2.5 minutes. So like that, your line will be balanced. Uh, If you have not understood this example, suppose I will give another example. Like suppose if you have three machines, lathe machine, milling machine, and drilling machine. In lathe machine, suppose the time required is 3 minutes. In milling machine, the time required is 5 minutes, and in drilling machine, the time required is 1 minute. Okay. So now, which is the bottleneck? Milling machine, and you want a cycle time of 3 minutes. So lathe machine is able to produce at every 3 minutes. Milling machine is able to produce 1 minute. So there the operator will be idle for 2 minutes, but milling machine it is taking 5 minutes. So all the jobs will stuck at milling machine. But you want cycle time of 3 minutes. So what you can do in this case, there is no point in increasing the work because एक machine के लिए एक ही worker काम करेगा. So you can have two milling machines. That is what I mean that adding a parallel workstation. So you have two milling machines so that the time required at the milling workstation will be 2.5 minutes. So now the bottleneck is shifted. The bottleneck is shifted to the lathe machine. So you can take the decision whether to have one more lathe machine so that 3 minutes can be divided by 1.5 minutes or just go ahead with the 3 minutes. So that decision is taken by the management depending upon what is the requirement of the output. If you are okay with 3 minute cycle time, that is 60 divided by 3, 20 pieces in an hour, fine. You can go ahead with that 3 minutes. So this is how the method study is helpful. We are discussing method study, that is module 2 of the syllabus. These are the various objectives of the method study. So that day I think the attendance was less because of the connectivity issue. So let me brief you that it is work study is divided into method study and work measurement. You have not missed much, and work measurement consists of time study and motion study. So time study is nothing but how much time is required for a particular task, and motion study is deals with the motion of the people's motion of the body. So small motions of the bodies are noted down, and the time required for that activities are noted down. So time study and motion study is a part of work measurement. And method study, as I told, that it is nothing but improvement technique of method, or it can be a new method itself. Huh? So we were here. So this can be asked for a short note, either for the 5 marks or for the 10 marks. So accordingly, you need to write. So these are the objectives of the method study. Just have a look on it. So method study is the most important. and it needs an experienced engineer because a fresh engineer and experienced engineer, there is a difference in the process plan. And always a good method is very much essential before you do time study. These are the different objectives of the method study. The most important being to improve the utilization of the resources. Here are the advantages of the method study. So all these quality, layout, design, better equipment design will help to improve the image of the organization or image of the institution. Improved working method, you don't use the word cheaper method. You have to use the word economical method, because the cheaper method sometimes is misunderstood. So please use the word economical method. Another important advantage of method study is less fatigue to the operator. So you have to have a good ergonomics, because you cannot expect an operator or a worker to work for 8 hours in awkward conditions. So ergonomics are very important. The bad ergonomics can lead to bad health. The health of the people will deteriorate, will cause the diseases, will cause the accidents, and it will be a great loss to the organization. So same 7-step procedure, it is select, record, examine, develop, define, install, and maintain. Maintain is very important. Is whatever method study you have suggested, you have to see that it doesn't become obsolete very soon. Obsolete means like in 2 or 3 days, the peoples are back to the earlier method or to the old method. The new method which is suggested by engineer is ignored. So this is what is obsolete means. So maintain is nothing but you have to see that the method which has been suggested is being implemented, and if there are any problems for switching over to the earlier method, you have to check. So you can remember these 7 techniques by the third SIA team. That is, there are two teams, that is develop and define. you have to develop a new method, you have to define it, you have to document that. So here that is missed. So develop is nothing but you have to use ideas, eliminate, simplify, combine, rearrange, make new method. And then you have to submit it for approval. And once it is approved, then you have to define it. Define it means what? You have to document it. Means you have to have a SOP. So in that SOP, you have to detail down, or you have to put all the details of the new method. Once it's documented, you have to install. Install means you have to see that the method is being used, method is implemented, and then maintain it nothing but you have to check weekly, fortnightly, you have to analyze is there any deviations, are the papers following the method. So that change is always the resistance of the change. People they are used the method, and all of a sudden, suppose if the new method is asked to be implemented and will be registered. So these are the steps. Again, develop के बाद we have defined. That is what you have to remember. So you the method which is to be changed or be reviewed, record it before and after. If you have the statistics of both, what was the scene or what was the scenario before, or what is the existing and what is going to be new. So this is very important whenever you go for internship also. Whenever you go for internship, you have to remember first thing what you have to do is to write down, is to record the existing thing. The photograph, if you want to do a better picture, take the photograph of the existing scenario so you can compare. Otherwise, later on, you will be questioned. अरे पहला कैसा था पहला क्या था so before see how messy it was and now after implementing 5 years how beautiful it is. So the comparison is always useful, and that's why you need to record down the existing systems and procedures. Then you have to analyze. Examination means you have to analyze the existing things. Okay. And this is a decision box. So whether it is okay or not okay. If it is not okay, then you develop a new method, suggest changes, implement it, and maintain it. Okay. And not only maintain, you have to constantly take the reviews every fortnightly, every monthly, and you have to check is there any scope for the new method? Is there any scope for the changes? So again, it will start. See, as an engineer or as an organization, if you stop at a particular product, then you know the example of Premier Automobiles. They never, since they were enjoying the monopoly, they never thought of new models. They never thought of changing their systems, and that's why they had to be out of the market. Same thing will happen because there is always scope for the improvement. So only, yes, definitely you have to maintain first, but then you need to see that how I can develop a better and better method, because you have to stand in the market. How I can reduce the time, how I can improve the quality, how I can have better housekeeping, better safety, so that I can make the accidents zero, so that the people's absenteeism will be less. So again, you have to start from the beginning. Need not be every 15 days, every month, but at least quarterly or 6 monthly, you have to take this review. Then, what are the different recording techniques? We have been discussing record. So, what are the different recording techniques? So, you can use charts or you can use diagrams. So, charts can be of two types, that is macro motion charts and micro motion. The word macro and micro. So, in macro, you have again four different charts, that is operation process chart, flow process chart, two-handed process chart. Two-handed process chart means like 3 idiots. You must have seen how the professor is writing with both the hands. So two-handed process chart means you always see that employees both the hands are being used to do the assembly of a particular component so that it is fast. Then multiple activity chart, and in mathematical charts you have SIMO chart. That is what we will see. What is it? Then diagrams is flow diagram and string diagram. String diagram is you are taking a thread and making a diagram. So that is what is called as the string diagram. So that also we will see. So we use some symbols in method study. So these are those symbols which are again used in your oral examination or in MCQ. So the circle, which looks like a O, stands for the operation. This is a rectangle and it's not a square. There is a difference between rectangle and square. So this is for the inspection activity. And for the material handling, you have arrow. So it's material handling or transportation. Then this is a semicircle which looks like a D. So that is nothing but your DNA. And this is inverted triangle, which means storage. So and this is a combined activity. Combined activity means what? There is a storage as well as say inspection or the operation or inspection going on simultaneously. Like the component is getting ground and at the same time the online inspection is also going on simultaneously. That is that is in process inspection. In process inspection means the operation is being carried out and the component is also being inspected. So that is what is called as the combined activity. So these are the symbols which are explained. So this is O is operation that indicates different methods, procedures. Inspection. This is actually a rectangle. So quality control inspector is checking with micrometer, vernier. Transport is nothing but movement of the material, basically movement of the material, not of the equipment or not of the worker. Then this is a D, that is delay. Hmm. So delay is like work material which is waiting between two consecutive operations. Like say after late, the component is taken or taken for the drilling. Hmm. But the drilling machine is already engaged for some other workpiece. So the components which are taken out of lathe are held up. So that is what is delay. Or suppose on CNC lathe, uh, existing batch is going on, and you have raw material of the next batch which is arrived and it's waiting for to be loaded on the machine. Okay, so that is the temporary storage or delay. An inverted triangle means permanent storage, and a circle in a square, it means combined activities, that is two or more activities going on. Just look at this example. So these are the various activities or operations, you know, which can be shown by a symbol circle, like hammering है, mixing हो रहा है, you are drilling a hole. Then transportation, that is, material is being transported in a trolley or on a conveyor, or even suppose a postman who is carrying the letters, that is also activity of transportation. Then this is the storage, like raw material is stored, then finished goods, then even the documents in the office. See, method study is not only for the machines or not only for the worker. It is also for office. That is what you have to remember. This total quality management or TQS, it includes not only shop floor but everything in the organization. So it is said that even the peoples at the bottom level, that is, even the sweeper, even though he is a contract worker or casual worker, he should know what is going on in the organization, what is going on in the factory. My factory is certified or my factory is going for certification. Tomorrow some visitors are coming, so everybody should know. Then this is a delay. Like now person, he wants to take the material and he is waiting for the elevator. Then this is the material in the bin. So, and this is to be processed. Now, this is a bench. This is to be assembled, and there are no workers. So that is again a delay because the peoples are not available. Then these are the papers which are waiting to be filed. Tune नहीं है जगह पे, and filing is to be done. Inspection, that is, person is examining on a table. This is also inspection, that is, you are reading the gauge, or even the office people, they are examining the printed form. So that is a kind of inspection as well. So what are the different process charts which are used in the method study? So as I told in earlier slide, you have operation process chart, flow process chart, two-handed process chart, multiple activity chart, and SIMO chart. So let us discuss these charts. So outline process chart is nothing but a bird's eye view. We call it as a bird's eye view, that it gives you overall picture of the process, only highlighting the main events. Then operation process chart, the another name is also basic process chart. Very important. Basic process chart, because sometimes in the examination instead of operation process chart they may ask basic process chart. So you should not be confused. So it is a graphical representation of the points at which the materials are introduced into the process and of the sequence of inspection and all operations except material handling. So suppose if a chassis is being loaded, hmm, so how much time, or suppose a fuel tank is to be fitted, or suppose a body is to be fitted on a chassis, so how that operation will be carried out and how much time it will take. So that comes under this study. Flow process chart is again a graphical representation. How does the material flows? And there are two types. One is material or product type, and another is machine type or equipment type. Material or product type means how the material is flowing. It is the flow of the material. And machine type or equipment means from one machine to another machine. So that is your machine type or equipment type. So it is not in this machine type or equipment type. It is not necessary that you have to study the flow of the material. You have to study how the components are moved from machine to machine. So this is a part of VSM, that is value stream mapping technique. So wherein you have to take a round along with the flow of the material or along with the flow of the machines. Then another chart is two-handed process chart. So here the activities of the workers, both hands, are recorded chronographically. So chronographically is again a technique which helps to record down the activities minutely. In multiple activity chart, the activities of more than one subject worker, machine or equipment are recorded to show their interrelationships. So how the activities are related. So that is what is shown on multiple activity chart. That is, it is as the name suggests, it is more than one activity. Then flow diagram, here it shows the position of the machines, jigs, and the path followed by the materials or the machines. So there is a difference between a flow diagram and flow process charts, which you should be careful. So we have a string diagram in which a thread or a string dhaga is used to trace or to calculate, because you cannot take the measure tape and measure how much the worker is moving. So you have to take a thread and place the thread how the worker is moved, or while doing the assembly or while doing his job, or how the material is moved. So you have to keep the thread and then you measure the thread length with the help of the measure tape. सिमो चार्ट का फुल फॉर्म है साइमल्टेनियस मोशंस, साइमल्टेनियस दैट इज SI, साइमल्टेनियस मोशन cycle chart. So SI stands for simultaneous and MO stands for motion. This is simultaneous and this is motion. So it gives all motions basically of the human being, and this has been developed for the two-handed activities. So this is or this indicates or this in for a particular task, like yes, assemble a differential. So how the differential gearbox is brought with the help of a crane or with the help of a forklift, how it is placed on the chassis, that is how it is loaded, then how it is assembled, how the bolts are fixed. So all these motions are recorded. That is basically it focuses on activities of both the hands. So operation process, as I said, that it gives you bird's eye view of the entire process and it captures the major activities and inspections. So only two symbols are used, that is operations and inspection. So how it is? You need to write title at the top of the chart. That is, this is the title. Begin the chart from the right hand side, top corner. Write the main component, that is name, at the right extreme on the top side. Then write down the sequence of the operations. Using symbols, and then you have to write the description briefly of every activity. Note down the time for each activity. So like that you have to do for that particular component till a new component or the second component enters the line. Like say this is operation process or outline process chart. of say motor. I hope it is visible. So these are the different parts of the motor. This is cover, this is rotor, then this is the stator, then this is the body. So now this is a circle. Okay. It is operation, that is turning operation, cover. Maybe setup 1. This is cover, maybe setup 2. And this is what is time taken, 4 minutes, 4 minutes here for setup 2. Then you have inspection, 1 minute. Then again this is operation, say drilling, 5 minutes. And then inspection, that is say 2 minutes. Then this is rotor. So die casting, 8 minutes. Inspection, 8 minutes. Assembling fan, 8 minutes. And rotor has to be balanced. So it has to be taken on the balancing machine. So that is 8 minutes. Then inspection, 2 minutes. Then stator. This is winding. Wind stands for winding. Primary winding, secondary winding.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
Yeah.
सर
Yes.
आपका वॉल्यूम बहुत स्लो आ रहा है, मतलब समझ नहीं रहा है, फिर
अरे अभी
अटक
तक तो
अटक के भी आ रहा है।
अभी तक बराबर था ना। हेलो हेलो
यस सर।
हेलो
यस सर।
yeah. So this is stator. So this is primary winding, secondary winding, then inspection, then varnishing, because the winding has to be varnished, and then inspection. Then this is your body of the motor. You are turning the base, then you are doing boarding, then facing the ends, inspection, then drilling of the holes, then again inspection. So now these are the operation number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now in the body, the stator is assembled, then rotor is assembled, okay, then covers are fitted, then complete assembly, and then inspection. So this is, that is, looking at this, you get a picture of entire electric motor. Okay, what are the different operations, how the assembly is going to take place, and how much time it will take. The entire glimpse you will get. Now here it is not details, like say now say drill. Okay, so what is the size of the drill, whether you are going to use jig, what is the depth of the drill, only drill how many holes has to be drilled. So it is not detailed down. So that's why it is called an outline process chart. It just gives you outline. This is another example of outline process chart. Like this is a part number. Part name is elevated plate assembly. The location is say assembly shop. We're just checking the existing method. Then who has done it and who has approved it. So we have plate one, that is cold work steel strip, and what are the different operations in there. The circle for the operation, rectangle for the inspection. So cut to this, something like we had studied in process engineering and tooling under the chapter called the classification of operation, and the same symbols were used. So that symbols are nothing but these symbols which are used in metal study. Then plate number 2, then rivets. What is the size of the rivets? Diameter is 3 and 10 mm long. So there are no operation on the rivets, it directly goes for the assembly. So this is what is your outline process chart is. Similarly, you have outline process chart for the plywood manufacturing. That is logs, wooden logs you are cutting to the size, then peeling off, that you get veneered, it is clipped, it is heated, dried, then it is joined, plied, then you get a plywood, and it is cut to the size and embossed and packed. Okay, so that was your outline process chart. So that gives you a bird's eye view of your how the product is being manufactured. Okay, so next charts we'll study in next section. If you have any doubt, you please ask. And if there is any problem about audio etc., please you stop me and tell me. All right. So thank you so much. We'll stop